All right, man, let's get right into it, man. Best of 7 Sports Talk, T7M Radio, man, 7 Mitchell, Mike in the building. Let's get the show rocking and rolling. We're going to stay in the NCAA tournament time. We got to talk about Michigan State's head coach, Tom Izzo. Mike, I need to know, should Tom Izzo be fired? Now, during that first round tournament win versus Bradley, 76-65, Tom Izzo went off on freshman Aaron Henry. And I mean went off. Not once, but twice. Clutching his fists, jumping at him. In the post game, he said that he went at the kid and the kid responded by making some big time shots and all that. Just really trying to downplay and minimize what we saw. Tom Izzo is a very respected head coach in this game, but from that situation, Mike, should Coach Izzo be fired?
I don't think so. I think that this is a one-off, or at least that's what it seems like so far. I feel like he deserves the benefit of the doubt and should be able to continue coaching to see if this type of action happens again. And if it does, then they may want to start thinking of some disciplinary actions. But for the time being, and from Tom Izzo's track record, we all know he's a hothead. You know what I mean? We see him get angry on the sidelines a lot. But, of course, he hasn't ever went after one of his own players the way that he did on Thursday, at least from what I've seen. So I think he deserves the benefit of the doubt and should be able to keep his coaching job for the time being.
I think a precedent, needs to be set. Tom Izzo had a national championship in 2000. He's took the team to 7 Final Fours. He was the AP Coach of the Year in 98. Naismith Hall of Famer. He was inducted in 2016. The university, Michigan State University, this institute has been covered with scandals over the last year or two. And to see Tom Izzo do what I seen Thursday, I don't know why we giving him a pass. For what specific reason? When you brought up track record, I get his resume is good, but I've never seen Dean Smith act like that. I've never seen Mike Krzyzewski act like that. The last coach I think I seen act like that was Bobby Knight, and they threw him out the game because he got physical. Matter of fact, he didn't even get physical with a player. He got physical with a student for calling him Knight, not Coach Knight or Bobby Knight, just called him Knight. He felt disrespected and put his hands on him. So I've seen winning coaches take less of that type of energy and still be productive. Why should Tom Izzo get a pass in your opinion specifically?
Just because he hasn't ever shown that type of behavior before, and I just feel like he deserves the benefit of the doubt in this situation. I feel like, I don't know if this kid got, got under his skin, and it might just be this particular kid, or if it's something more deep-rooted. Now, if it's something more deep-rooted that will cause it to occur to other players, then, I feel like we should give them the opportunity to present that to us. One more time, obviously, we don't want a kid getting hurt in the mix of that.
Right.
But I just feel like he has shown that he's worked with hundreds of students before, and this hasn't ever happened. So maybe it's just this one particular student.
But maybe it's not. And maybe what we saw on camera, when it's caught on camera, is undeniable. Now, reports are saying that the kid, Aaron Henry, doesn't have a problem with what happened. Even his parents don't have a problem with what happened. It was said that when it was recruitment time, Izzo let the family know, I'm going to be dead hard on your kid. I'm going to change him from a boy to a man. So he doesn't have an issue. He said he's even had it worse in practice. But I just watched this man clutch his fist, jump at this guy where other players had to hold him back. This tournament time, I get it. One and done. If I'm not mad at him for lashing out the first time because the guy wasn't hustling, then, you got to get at him. But I felt like he was using this kid as an example on the biggest stage. And it's going to give him a green light to do it again. And it's going to give other coaches a green light to do this. At least the ones that got a little bit of credential. I haven't seen Roy Williams act like this in Carolina. I just don't understand why Tom
Roy
is.
Williams isn't going to act like this.
And then another thing, you said that we should give Izzo a pass because his track record doesn't show him having a consistent type of energy for doing this. But on the flip side, he's been in a coach for so long, he should know better. I think we got to hold it at the same standard. So what do you have to say?
You treating it like the NCAA tournament.
But I'm just saying, we can credit him for having a track record of being a coach for years and not dealing with this. But maybe he hasn't did this for all those years because he know better. And if you're making an example out of a kid now, I think that's a bad look.
I agree with that. I definitely don't think he should be trying to get some type of ego boost or some type of self-gratification out of it. But like I was saying, you treating it like the NCAA tournament, meaning like you want it to be one and done. Like
you know
you
why,
one
Mike?
chance to make a mistake and you out.
But you know why? Because it's the magnitude and it's who we're talking about. The one situation is bad, but when you give passes with stuff like this in this day and age, history is going to repeat itself. Maybe not with Coach Izzo, maybe not. But another coach is going to go down the same path. And then another coach is going to go down the same path. And then eventually a player is not going to be as cool as Aaron Henry and going to actually lash back. And then the situation is going to get really ugly because the kid going to lose his scholarship. He may get arrested. You never know how that's going to play out. Tom Izzo, to me, did entirely too much. You clutching your fist like you going to punch this kid. You lunging at him like you going to really put your hands on him. There was nothing that kid did on the basketball court to make Tom Izzo a very credible Hall of Fame coach get out of pocket like that. I think his ass should be fired. I'm going to keep it real.
I agree.
Set the standard now. If you want to give him another job somewhere else, fine. They got to let it be known. This is unacceptable.
But if you go with that line of thinking, though, which I'm not against, hey, I think you just made some great points. But if you go with that line of thinking, you can't really give him another job either, though, because if somebody else does come along and acts the same way, they know they can get another job as well. Like, I could just get another job somewhere else, So I feel like if you're going to get rid of him completely.
Well, I wouldn't say that he stays with the institution, but I wouldn't want to see him blackballed from, being still in the sport. He may not have to be another head coach or go coach some grown men. Try that with some grown men in the NBA and see how that's going to work out. Keep that same energy and try that in the NBA. Right. That's not, it's going to be a whole different way for Izzo. Let's be real. So I'm not saying that he has to be another head coach.
I agree. But
he could be behind the scenes somewhere. But I just think that for fear that other coaches is going to follow suit, I'm afraid of the future because of what we seen Thursday. Tom Izzo is very credible, but if the NCAA is about their business, and with Michigan State already having all our clouds over top of them, I think they should get rid of him. I'm sorry.
Hey, nothing to be sorry about. And I kind of wonder about what you're saying a little bit because I'll try to think back to the past when coaches did seem a little more aggressive towards their players. And it seemed to be something that a lot of coaches participated in, Fran Tarkenton, even though he never attacked none of his players, but he was
very aggressive.
He was in their face a lot.
Coach Larry Brown, Pat Riley was a little aggressive at times in New York. John Thompson, Georgetown.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, John Thompson. Yeah, and I had somebody else I was thinking of. Well, of course, we know Bobby Knight.
Right.
And then I heard PJ Carlissimo was like that too, and
until
that's why
Sprewell put hands on him. That's right. That's right.
So and then nowadays you don't hear about it as much. So I wonder if it's just a culture thing. So with what you're saying, if we let him continue going on as a coach, maybe the culture will change again to where coaches are acting aggressively towards players again. So maybe you could be right. You know, I wouldn't be adverse to them making that decision. I just thought off of watching it the first time around that, you know, I probably would give him a pass. But, you know, with your points that you made some pretty good points, and I can't say I would be against that at all.
I'm gonna end it off with this because you and I grew up in the era where as though we're not absent-minded of how head coaches can be aggressive coming up in school. Head coaches go upside your head. I mean, that's not nothing new. The game has definitely changed, but I just feel like giving this thing a pass now is going to open the floodgates for more things, you know, to develop, and people going to get passes because of their credibility or what's on their resume. And I just think that's unacceptable.
I agree. I agree. Your reputation shouldn't define how you're judged for a certain action in this day and time.
That's true. Y'all let us know what y'all think about that in the comments section. Tom Izzo, should he be fired? Should he get another chance at Michigan State University, man? Y'all let us know in the comments. T7M Radio, Best of 7 Sports Talk.